Today, May 14th, 77 years ago, on the Gregorian calendar, this nation was reborn. David Ben-Gurion declares a state of Israel, declares the independence, and we're celebrating it 77 years later. And look at this roller coaster we're in right now. It's an ongoing reality show. Every day is so different from the day before. The United States agrees to sell Saudi Arabia a $142 billion arms package. What's going to happen? You know, even when Idan Alexander, everyone's praying for this American Israeli to be released. And he's released, but is that to gain favor with Qatar? Qatar, that they house the Hamas leadership, right? And so what does it mean? And now Trump is given by Qatar, I guess Americans pronounce it Qatar, and gave him a $400 million private jet. They call it Palace on Wings, right? Palace, a flying palace. And does that mean that bin Salman of Saudi Arabia, will he take over Gaza? It's just what's going to happen. Will they eliminate Hamas? Will we be stopped? Will Gideon's chariots not be able to ride? It's a roller coaster, my friends. I feel like in many ways we're in the middle of this roller coaster. And United States also agreed to not only do the $142 billion arms deal, but that they agreed to invest $600 billion in the United States. It's signed. A deal is signed by Donald Trump on this visit. And it's air defense systems, Air Force missile technology. Saudi Arabia is the largest U.S. arms customer globally, the largest. So they're amazing partners. Israel also has operated F-35s for 9 years, and Lockheed and Martin. Did you notice all the CEOs that were with Trump? Not only Elon Musk, but the head of BlackRock and many others, all there. Now, there's one thing I will say is it's not just about money. Saudi Arabia, you know, to be the 2.0 Abraham Accords, for Saudi Arabia to normalize, does that mean they're going to normalize with Israel or not? Is it just with the United States? This is the whole question that a lot of us have here. And also, it's not all about money. There's this whole issue of they have kicked out the Muslim Brotherhood. They understand the Middle East. They know that Hamas is Muslim Brotherhood. And they know that that's how they started. And they understand even Al Jazeera. They don't play with all this foolishness, even though Europe and many of the West have taken in Muslim Brotherhood people. They don't recognize, they don't see the dangers. We see it here. We live here in this neighborhood. And I believe that this friendship with Saudi Arabia will be just amazing. I don't know what it all means, but he's also met with the Syrian new president, and that guy is Al-Qaeda, and he's ISIS, you know, al-Shara. His name is al-Jolani, this guy. And so he met with him, that's a real thing, in Riyadh, and urging him to join the Abraham Accords and normalize relations with Israel. It does say in Isaiah 19 that you know, Egypt, my people, Assyria, my handiwork, Assyria, my handiwork, Israel, my inheritance, they three will be in peace, it talks about in this prophecy. So it's just interesting that it's not, I don't think he said no or yes, I don't know. But the guy he just got done massacring Alawites, murdering the Druze community, Christians. I mean, that regime is evil. Are they as evil as the one before them? I don't know. But al-Shara expressed interest in a counterterrorism cooperation and reaffirmed the 1974 disengagement agreement, which means what? We can't be in the buffer zone anymore. He wants us out, so we won't have a buffer zone. They're going to be right on us, right on the Golan. My family, my brother lives in the Golan. Like, we don't want them to be right up on our border with no buffer zone. So a lot of things that are happening have very, very dire consequences. Everybody's on edge. They're biting their nails. And at the same time, IDF saying, well, we issue evacuation warnings, okay? Get out of the Rimal neighborhood. Hamas is exploiting civilian sites for terror. They're exploiting schools, hospitals. They are not going to be able to do this. And also Houthis, get out of these certain areas that are controlled by Houthis. We're going to continue to make sure to beat down the enemy. And during this time, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's amazing to speak out and declare at this time that we stand on the right side of history. We stand for the word of God. We stand for the covenants. I was able to be in this meeting with children and grandchildren of Nazis, along with children and grandchildren of Holocaust survivors, each sharing their story and what happened to them, hiding hiding in a bunker for some of these people, and talking about how their grandpa was fleeing from the Nazis and their grandpa was a Nazi, different ones. And in the end, everyone says, we love Israel. We love what Israel stands for, the freedom, and that the light is shining together. And it's just amazing to see that people can change. And and it's along with our friends from Germany and many from all over the world with the March of Life. And when I read the promises, Zechariah 12, God says, I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. Okay, so we gotta recognize Jerusalem is God's. And, whenever the enemy attacks, they got to know they're attacking a plan. When they attack us, they're actually attacking God. So friends, whatever happens, let's trust and let's believe in the future that God promised.